Mr. President and fellow parents, does your child ever embarrass you by his or her behavior? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you do if your child stole a precious treasure? Today, I will share a personal story, a discipline formula that you can use today, and an exercise. So, let's begin with some questions. What is the opposite of unkind?
Kind.
Louder?
Kind.
Yes, you got it. What is the opposite of not firm?
Firm.
Third. Yes.
Yeah. And what is the opposite of inconsistent?
Consistent.
That's right. You have just discovered the discipline formula for parents. Be kind, be firm, and be consistent. I first learned this formula many years ago from a man named Paul Houck. He had written the book, The Rational Management of Children. I find it to be the best and easiest formula for disciplining our children. And it has never, ever let me down. Now for the personal story. Many years ago, when my son Scott was only 4, I told him the story of George Washington. You remember, he cut down his father's cherry tree. And his father came home and he said, "Oh no, who cut down my cherry tree?" And George said, "I cannot tell a lie. Father, it was me." Well, a few hours after that, I took Scott to Fred Meyer's to do some shopping. When we came home, he rushed out to the woods behind our house. And a little while later, he came in and said, "Mom, Mom, I found a special treasure." I said, "You did, Scott? What is it?" And from behind his back, he produced this bright, shiny key. I looked at it and I said, "Scott, where did you get this key?" "It was buried in the woods, Mom." "Scott, where did you get this key?" "Behind the house, Mom." I said, "Scott, where did you get this key?" "I got it in the key department at Fred Meyer's." Now I knew that this was a teaching moment. And so I went down the hall to my bedroom, closed the door, and I thought to myself, how can I be kind? How can I be firm? And how can I be consistent with my values? It came to me like that. I went to Scott and I said, "Let's get in the car, Scott." He said, "Okay, Mom." And while we were backing out the driveway, I heard this sobbing and this moaning and this shrieking. And I said, "Scott, what is the matter?" "George Washington wasn't punished." And he returned the key. Now for the exercise. I'm going to have you go back to a time when you disciplined your child and you didn't feel good about it. Maybe you were unkind, maybe you were not firm, maybe you were inconsistent. So please, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And go back to that scene. Now open your eyes. Parents, don't feel bad. All of us have had times when we have disciplined and we haven't felt good about it. So now, I want you to go back to that same scene, but this time, be kind, be firm, and be consistent. Take a nice breath. And when you have that, open your eyes and look this way. How many of you have felt that the second way was the best way for you? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Parents, you can be kind, firm, and consistent in your discipline. And if you are, you will raise children with character. They will respect you and they will love you. Now I know that there are parents who would say, Jean, this is just silly. I'm not going to be kind to my kids when they've misbehaved. I'm going to let them have a piece of my mind. I'm going to tell them something that they are going to remember. And to those parents, I say, they will remember. They will remember your angry face, your angry words, and they will become children who will be angry and disrespectful. Why? Because you are their teacher, you are their model, and they will be yelling right back at you. I congratulate you all for taking this educational moment to invest in yourself, in your parenting skills, and in the character of your children. Now, if you would like 41 more stories, 41 more solutions with 41 more misbehaviors that are built on this discipline formula, be kind, be firm, and be consistent, raise your hand. You, yes, good. Then, please go to www.kidsdiscuss.com. Scroll down the sidebar and click on Discipline Tips for Parents. And when you do, you will see this brand new ebook, Discipline Tips for Parents. You download it right into your computer and will have your own copy if you pick it up today, tomorrow, or any time. And please do. You'll be glad you did. Mr. President,